you have seen, committees have done a commendable job. I have been listening very keenly to the reports presented by chairpersons, and clearly, Mr. Speaker, a lot is happening within the committees. But, Mr. Speaker, I am concerned that whereas committees are very useful in processing business that is then brought to the chamber for debate and for action, we have a challenge of budgetary constraint. We had a meeting of the liaison committee, and this matter came up, Mr. Speaker, and we are concerned that with the trend, we may not be able to perform our role effectively as committees. So this is a matter that Senate as a whole needs to look at it very critically, so that we have budgets that will allow us to run committees efficiently. Mr. Speaker, even conducting public participation has become a problem. I know that several chairs have had to use their own resources to process some aspects of public participation. So, Mr. Speaker, as we commend our committees for the good work they have done, it is also important that we critically review this matter of the budgets which have been allocated to committees, because the committees will not be able to do any meetings outside this parliament because there is no money. So, Mr. Speaker, that is a concern that we all have as chairperson. Mr. Speaker, I also want to encourage the chairpersons of committees to strictly ensure that the provisions of Article 96 are adhered to, which is to protect counties, government and their interest. We are beginning to see clawback of the gains that we have made in devolution. We are beginning to see that attempts to even try to take some of the functions back to the national government. We have seen the issues of community health volunteers. We are even seeing issues to do around housing. So committees, regardless of which side of the political divide you are in, we must protect devolution, and we must adhere to Article 96 of the Constitution. So I want to encourage you, the chairpersons or the members of the committee, to ensure that is done. In my committee of public investment, we have made tremendous steps in addressing one of the major challenges in the county, that is the management of water resources under the water companies. This is a major issue which we are addressing, and I'm hoping that in the next audit cycle, we will have water entities that are efficiently managed in our counties. Otherwise, I want to commend the chairpersons, I want to commend the members of these committees for working extremely hard under the circumstances. But I want to encourage the Senate as a house to fight for its space, to fight for its budget, because at this rate, we will not be able to function well if we don't have adequate budget, and therefore means we will have less business to transact on this floor of the house, because the committee will die, and therefore there is no agenda to be processed in this house. So, Mr. Speaker, I hope that this issue of budget will be addressed with the finality that it should be addressed. I also want to commend the committee of Public Accounts Committee for the good work they are doing, which we as a committee of PIC, we are also following in your footsteps and ensuring that the governors or the officials who work under governors are accountable for the decisions they make And the officers are also accountable for the decisions they make. And it is important that this House takes serious steps in ensuring that we ensure that financial management in our county is enhanced, so that we are able to protect the resources that we send to the counties. Mr. Speaker, with those few remarks, I want to further thank the committees for the good work they are doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Senate Majority Leader, Cheruiyot.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this chance. Madam Speaker, you have given us this opportunity, 20 minutes, to listen and celebrate the work of our various committees. And we have listened to the reports of the Public Accounts Committee on the good work that they are doing, the Transport Committee, and the Trade and Investments Committee, Madam Speaker. And I'm impressed by the reports that have been brought by the chairpersons. When we began the campaign a few days ago, Mr. Speaker, we sounded like lonely voices when we said that chairpersons must read and perhaps reread Standing Order number 56, 1 and 2, to understand what this standing order provides, Madam Speaker, because we felt that the report that was being brought to the House was completely underwhelming. But I must commend, Madam Speaker, that later on, after the introduction, after that discussion, I see there's a change in how the reports are being presented before this House. They are more updated, Madam Speaker, and it's not just about quoting statistics. Some of them speaks to issues that are alive in society, that members of the public can identify and give us, Madam Speaker, the standing that we need as a House, because citizens of this country don't pay the amount of money that they pay to keep us in Nairobi so that we just enjoy a good AC in this building, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'll take perhaps a short time, because I do appreciate that it's only 20 minutes allocated to all the senators, and therefore maybe each of us should do perhaps 2 or 3 minutes only and be able to compress our comments and thoughts on what has been said. Madam Speaker, the only thing that I noted is that, unfortunately I think Senator Karungo Thangwa has left. You know, one of the questions that we said last week that each chairperson must ask themselves is, if you are to go to a public participation forum and say that I'm here on behalf of the Senate, I represent the Transport and Committee, what are the questions? Out of 5 questions that members of the public will ask you, what is likely to take the center stage? And I think any public meeting today on transport-related issues will not end. At least each of the 3 of the first 5 speakers, Madam Speaker, will speak on this topic of road safety. The fact that we continue to lose almost 5,000 Kenyans each and every year in a civilized society, that is completely unacceptable. The statistics continue to grow. As we build better roads, Madam Speaker, without changing our ways and without the government giving us a proper response on what is it that we can do so that we stop losing lives of our citizens on the road, Madam Speaker, is something that I expected this committee to tell us. And I hope, as they retreat to continue and carry on their duties, that they will update this House and the country on how specifically they are holding the National Transport and Safety Authority to account, together with the